Literature makes people learn from the ideas. Ideas are thoughts that are expressed around us through the different materials we encountered. As a 21st century learner, you must know the importance of finding worthy materials. This is especially appreciated when the literary piece has ideas that are sound and that can be applied in the reader's own life. Thus, literature is seen as especially valuable because it is relevant to you as the reader. In order to find value in literature, readers first judge how solid the ideas are and how sound the judgment of an author is. In this way, the author can act as the voice of wisdom that teaches the reader without the reader himself or herself having to go through the experience that the author had gone through. This is called vicarious learning. We should remember the following when judging the relevance and worth of ideas of the materials presented. First, note important information or facts. Second, gather evidences. Third, validate the source of information and the information itself by comparing the information from other valid resources. Fourth, check the organization and clarity of ideas. And lastly, examine the appropriateness of the language used. Now, for your next activity, study this illustration and answer the questions that follow. Write your answer in your activity notebook. These are the questions you need to answer. 1. What is the central idea in the illustration? 2. If you were one, which among the characters in the illustration would you imitate and why? 3. Based on the illustration, do you think healthy eating habit is relevant to us? Why do you say so? Just cite your evidences. You have just uncovered the ways to judge the relevance and worth of ideas. This time, you will be given an idea on how to judge the soundness of author's reasoning. Together, let us learn how to carefully weigh evidence and test its premises before forming judgment. To judge the soundness of the author's reasoning, it is important to know some keywords. Soundness means the quality of being based on valid reasons, good judgment, or reasoning. Many students have the impression that informational texts posted on social media are true and correct. A lot of informational texts are based on an author's ideas, beliefs, or opinions that are sometimes not considered to be sound. Readers must not assume that everything in an informational text is true. There was news last March 2020 saying that banana can cure COVID-19. It garnered a lot of shares, likes, and comments. Yet, that news has been found misleading and definitely not true. Just because it is on the internet, it doesn't mean it is true. Students should focus on the author's main idea. In addition, they should identify the author's reason and pieces of evidences that support the author's belief. In order to judge the soundness of the author's reasoning, the following questions can be considered. 1. What does the author want the reader to believe? 2. How does the author help us believe his or her statement? 3. Is the supporting evidence strong enough to support the author's main idea or belief? Let us use the image of a table. The tabletop represents what the author wants the reader to believe, while the table legs represent the supporting details provided within the text. Then, you can now judge whether the author's reasoning is valid and sound. You must be able to evaluate the text and judge the quality of author's idea by evaluating the supporting evidences. This is now your reasoning. The characteristics of a sound reasoning include 1. The quality of idea. 2. The existence of supporting details. 3. The relevance of the additional data. And 4. The existence of additional possible explanations for your reasons.